sometimes with Zenoscope, they do a cover, and the cover makes no sense at all.
Right.
For instance, and I'm not going to say whose cover, but it's a girl, and so she's clothed and she's behind the Eiffel Tower. Makes perfect sense, sort of a touristy thing. But then
Right.
there's a topless cover of that exact same thing, and I'm like, why would a girl be topless next to the Eiffel
Right.
Tower in the exact same way? This doesn't make sense.
Right.
It's not, and I feel sometimes people get lazy when you're
Right.
producing a cover. And look, I'm not a big nude guy, because a lot of stuff that I buy will eventually be sold in my eBay business,
Right.
and nude books on eBay are now being cracked down upon, and that's a
Right.
problem for me as a seller and as somebody who invests in comic books
Right.
because it tests the business. But at the same time, I do have nude books that are personal books, and I'm like, this makes no sense as
Right.
far as art. It's just doing nudity for the sake of nudity versus saying doing it to enhance a cover. And so, what is that like? Because obviously, a lot of the covers I showed have nudity around them, and there's a nude cover, and then there's a traditional cover. That toast book is a good example, but I don't feel like it's nudity for the sake of nudity.
Right.
Well, that one kind of, you had a story. Like,
Yeah.
that's why Steph was saying about having a story. Sometimes we'll choose to do an ultra sheer instead of a nudity because sometimes it just doesn't make sense.
Right. Like you said, if the girl in front of the Eiffel Tower has a sheer shirt on, that's a possibility as opposed to it just being topless. And there's, it amazes me because there's always little things you can do. And sometimes the creators that we work with, they're like, no, that's fine. And I'm like, okay, if I'm going to do a topless and I'm going to do a regular, at the very least, I could mirror image it. So that if somebody gets both books, they get a slightly better perspective of the two covers. So it's not just, random kind of, and sometimes you can change the background, like the Witches of Westchester cover. Sometimes you can tweak the background a bit so that they get a different picture with the version. Like even that Witches of Westchester,
we didn't go nude.
Right. Originally, we were going to do a regular and a topless because that's what he was expecting. And instead, we gave her a slightly sheer shirt and a schoolgirl skirt. And we gave him two covers that have very beautiful artwork that stands alone. So you could get the schoolgirl or you can get the jeans. And neither of them have to be topless for it to still be a great set that works together.
Yeah, and I just think that it's creativity, and I think it's people not being lazy.
Right.
In which that, I'm not saying artists are lazy, but I find that sometimes people are saying, look, what is, maybe I don't want to do the extra work or get a little creative, or maybe, you have 15 covers in your backlog and you're just like, I can't do this and I don't want to go the extra mile. And look, I get it. Obviously I do a lot of interviews and sometimes I can't fully do the exact interview or promote it the exact way and go 110%. But, I try, and sometimes I get creative on how I want to promote an interview,
right.
And so that's something that I just think is fascinating. This is something that obviously why I want to interview you, because I've gone through a bunch of your covers and I'm like, oh shit, like there's actually creativity here. There's real cool stuff, and I happen to like.
Try,
and
sometimes creators are just like, no, just give me a nude and a regular.
Just give me a nude and regular.
Just take her top off. We're like, okay,
all right.
It's they're paying us to do a job. We're going to do what they want.
For Wendy's 100th cover, we've got a girl standing in front of a dragon, and she has a metal top on. Then we ended up doing 4 versions of it.
Oh, yes.
So she has a metal top on. Then the inside.
That was your 100th cover too.
Yeah. It was
both of your 100th covers.
It was Wendy's 100th cover and my 100th cover. And so it's a solid metal top. Then it's a sheer sparkling top.
And then there's a tail in front of her chest.
Then there's a version where the dragon's tail actually swings around to conceal her breast. And then in the last one, it's topless. So there's actually 4 versions of that.
So I think this is the one, right?
No.
That's not the one? Or is it? It's not this one either, is it?
No.
There I go.
You got it where?
Okay. I don't know if I have it, but that's why I'm asking.
It's just like with a little bit of creativity, we came up with 4 different versions of it, all of which did fantastic. And also, all of them had, and that's the thing, we don't want to just do a topless or just do a sheer, like unless each one has something special about it that makes it different.
Because I don't think I have this one.
I'm only going to show 2 because I didn't bring the nudes.
Here, she didn't bring the nudes.
So
it's all right.
There's the one with the tail in front.
And then this one is with the full top.
And that one was the full top. And then there was 2 other versions like that.
Then there was a sheer top, and then there was a nude top. So it was a lot of fun because at least it kind of made sense. And then the dragon's tail in front of her kind of tied it all together.